Hello, I'm Andrew Pritchard, and thank you for watching today's Corn Belt Regional Forecast, brought to you by Nutrien Ag Solutions. Well, I want to start off by just letting you know, if you found this video on YouTube or you came across it on social media and you haven't done so already, visit my.nutrienagsolutions.com and set up a free account. All you need is your email address and a password. That'll get you free access to the platform here. You click on Weather Story, and that's going to take you to our weather page here, where you'll find the videos Eric's been putting out Monday and Thursday mornings, taking an in-depth look at the next 1 to 2 weeks, the evolution of the pattern. But now on Tuesday and Friday, we're rolling out this content where you can get your forecast broken down into a regional analysis looking at the next 5 to 7 days. We'll have a long-range forecast coming out on Wednesdays, and we've got other stuff we're working on as well. So go ahead and get yourself access to this platform, because this is where you'll find all of this crucial information. And we'll just go through the spring, this next growing season together. But make sure that you go ahead and set up an account, because that's where all of this great content is going to be located as we roll into the spring. Well, we'll start off today by taking a look at the satellite across the Midwest, and we see kind of a split picture here. If you look at the northern plains in the upper Midwest across parts of the Dakotas into Minnesota and Wisconsin, we've got some thicker cloud cover. We've actually got some light snow falling in this area. But if you head off to the south across the central and the eastern Corn Belt, central Illinois, for example, here in Champaign, I've got sunshine out the office window, where we've just got some high-level cirrus clouds across the region. So kind of cloudy with some light snow across the north, a little bit more sunshine as you head into the south. And we can look at the radar picture here and see that light snow falling from the Dakotas across central Michigan into Wisconsin and even all the way into Michigan. We can start this loop over one more time so you can see that here just kind of parked itself across the northern plains in the upper Midwest, where we could pick up maybe a couple of inches of snow. And the other thing we've seen is some colder air move into the area. We've seen cold air locked across the northern plains for much of the last 30 days, really. It's been a long time that it's been cold up there. But this system came through over the weekend. We saw a warm up in the central and eastern Corn Belt, but that's come to an end as well with the passage of that cold front. We'll take a look at the high-resolution NAM model here, the precipitation forecast just over the next couple of days, so I can show you this snow band or this area of snow, a little clipper system that's going to be moving through here through the day on Thursday, maybe another round of some very light snow over similar areas. And that's really going to be the pattern over the next 7 to 10 days, is a drier pattern across the Midwest with just chances for these little clipper systems across the upper Midwest, bringing some light snowfall. Again, here's the forecast just through the end of the day tomorrow, looking at this first round of snow where maybe 2 to 3 inches across parts of North Dakota and central Minnesota. A little bit more as you get into northern and northwestern Wisconsin, where maybe 3 to 5 inches are on the table. That's true across much of Michigan as well. And then maybe a little bit more of that as we get into Thursday, but over similar areas. And this really shows the picture here, just the total precipitation forecast. For the next couple of days, we see an atmospheric river pumping a lot of moisture into the Intermountain West here across parts of California, into the Pacific Northwest. Across the southern U.S., that's where we're going to be active with showers and thunderstorms as well. But just across the upper Midwest into the northern plains here, that little corridor where we'll see periodic chances for very light snow. But this pattern's not going to be conducive to those big heavy snows, the winter storms and the blizzard warning criteria stuff. And that's going to be illustrated well here. We'll see surface pressure on the left, precipitation type on the right. And we just see this dominant area of high pressure reinforcing itself across the central U.S. And what that does is kind of forces and squeezes any low pressure system that tries to track through the region, forces that south across the southern plains and then to the southeast. We can look at that over here on the precipitation type forecast. We see showers and storms across the southern U.S. It's another storm system that comes through late over the weekend into early next week. We'll watch that one more time because it follows that similar behavior, forced across the southern plains into the southeast, perhaps bringing some light snow to parts of the central plains and Ohio River Valley, which we'll look at in a moment. But overall, this is the pattern as we head through the next week. Just periodic light clippers up here, no significant snowfall. And then even parts of the Mid-South that have been heavily soaked by repeated heavy rainfall over the last 30 days or so, getting a little bit of a break as well, as much of the Corn Belt just kind of takes a break from really significant precipitation events. Here's the snowfall forecast through the weekend. We see that corridor across the upper Midwest, the northern plains, where we're talking 2 to 4 inches of snow just from these, periodic, really quick-moving, light snow-producing clipper systems. We also see the corridor there from the central plains into the Ohio River Valley, which is where we could see some snow Sunday and Monday. That's going to be subject to shift north or south and increase or decrease a little bit. I don't anticipate a major winter storm in that area, but the exact track, we got a lot of time to go between now and Monday. So certainly watch Eric's video on Thursday. Check back on your regional forecast for Friday, because we'll have a little bit more detail on that little storm system late over again on Sunday into Monday. But overall, there's the pattern. Light snow across the north, but really quiet across the Corn Belt. We're looking at precipitable water, so kind of looking at the moisture content. And again, we're just not getting that deep moisture to lift into the Midwest like we saw over the last week. We were seeing these major storm systems having full access to the Gulf of Mexico, bringing this deep moisture into the Midwest. That's what allowed us to see showers and thunderstorms and heavy rain as far north as Illinois, Indiana, and Ohio over the weekend. We saw heavy snow and blizzard conditions across the upper Midwest. And with the moisture being kind of just, shoved to the south by this big area of high pressure, that's just not something we're going to be seeing over the next 7 to 10 days. It's just not going to be supportive of getting ample moisture north to create these big snows or big heavy rains. So the pattern, while we will see periodic clipper systems, I'm repeating myself a lot here, we just don't have the wide open access to the Gulf of Moisture, and we're just not going to see those major storm systems in the Corn Belt for the next 7 to 10 days. Total precipitation here through Sunday, so through the weekend. Again, you see the heaviest precipitation where we're talking over 1 inch to 2 inches of rain in the south. Same story on the west coast and in the Corn Belt. You can see that little ribbon there. You can see it as well here where we look at precipitation in terms of percent of normal. From the Dakotas across central Minnesota and northern Wisconsin. That's where we're going to see periodic chances for light snow. But across the central Corn Belt there, from Nebraska, Iowa, Missouri, Illinois, and Indiana, just not going to be very active. It's going to be quite dry for the next 7 to 10 days, and that is good news in a lot of places where it's just been really active, really rainy, and we could use a chance to kind of dry out and absorb some of that moisture. The other thing this pattern's been great at doing is piling up cold air in the northern plains. We're looking at the cumulative temperature anomaly over the last 25 days, so February 1st through today. And we see that cold air just locked across the northern plains. It's been kind of a dividing line there for the Mississippi River. That's where we've seen, if you head east of that, a little bit more seasonally appropriate towards trending towards warmer than average in parts of Indiana and Ohio, into Kentucky and Tennessee, where we've tapped into some of the warmer air in advance of these storm systems. We warm up nicely. It was in the middle 50s here in central Illinois on Saturday. But as we look at the next 5 days temperature anomaly, 5-day average temperature anomaly, again, that cold air, the core of it locked into Montana and the northern plains, but really bitterly cold air beginning to seep further south into the central plains, parts of the central Corn Belt. And this is just going to be the theme all the way into the first week of March. It looks quiet. We're not seeing any major winter storms, but we are not going to be able to get rid of this cold air if you're living in, say, North, South Dakota, Nebraska, Kansas, Iowa, Minnesota. Even parts of Wisconsin, parts of Missouri, parts of Illinois getting into that as well. It's just not going to be warming up anytime soon if you live in the central and the northern Corn Belt there. So we can look at high temperatures just to finish this off. Tuesday, high temps were in the single digits in the Dakotas and Minnesota. Wednesday, not much warmer, approaching double digits, but still a lot of single digits readings there. Thursday, we warm up a little bit, but not before we see another reinforcing blast come in Friday. High temperatures already back in the single digits. And then we can do you one worse. Saturday, high temperatures below zero across all of North Dakota and parts of South Dakota. Single-digit high temperatures all the way into Nebraska and Iowa. Still cold as you head further south and east, just in the 20s, across parts of central Illinois, where we should be a little bit warmer than that by this time of year. As always, Eric Snodgrass will have an in-depth look at the evolution of the next 1 to 2 weeks in our Thursday morning ag forecast video. You can find your next regional forecast right here on Friday. Have a great week.